Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I've got Mark's M135i, which is stage 1, 390 brake, and then we've got my JCW, which is running 235 brake, which is completely stock. However, between the two cars we're going to be showing comparisons and why people will want to buy the M135i after a JCW. So we'll get straight into the video and we're going to talk about Mark's 135i. So we got Mark on the channel. He's got his 135i here, and it's a lot different to my John Cooper work. So Mark, why'd you buy the 135i?
So I bought it because it's got 3 litre inline 6. I come from a 1.2 Seat Ibiza. It's obviously rear wheel drive, which I absolutely love. So you can put the power down. It sort of squirms about whenever you're kicking it. But yeah.
Yeah. So obviously you've got a lot of power. So I know that you're stage 1 rather than stock. So what's the stock power?
So stock power, you're looking probably 325. About
right.
that.
And your stage 1 is?
Stage 1 at the moment is 390.
390.
About 390.
And who'd you get the stage 1 done by?
So it's custom MHD, so you plug it into the OBD2 port. You can do it either your phone or on a laptop, so it's sort of customizable. You can do it on the go and quick, so you can sort of change from stock to stage 1 within 30 seconds on your phone.
So it's relatively simple. Say if it was
Yeah.
the John Cooper works, I'd have to take that somewhere and it'd have to get plugged in on a rolling road.
So it is. I mean, they are quite accessible. So there's, so you can either have MHD or you can get it customed, or you can have BM3. Well, I went for MHD.
Okay. And why'd you choose MH3?
I chose that because, well, I mean, it's probably one of the best ones for these cars because obviously it's German. MHD actually is in itself German, so yeah, it's just an easy option.
It makes sense with a BMW.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've noticed as well on Mark's car, he's changed a few bits with the car, but it looks subtle, but it looks really good. So tell us what you've changed. I can see you changed the wheels for starters.
Yeah, so I've changed the wheels. They're 18 by 8J square Bowler B26s. I've also done the brake rotors and upgraded pads. I've done carbon wing mirrors, carbon caps. I've done the shark fin as well as the spoiler lip.
And with the brakes, that's quite a topic because a lot of people with a lot of power in their cars don't upgrade the brakes.
Yes.
So did you notice the difference between that and stock?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So the stock ones, the pads in themselves weren't actually great, so they were running down. So I sort of was like, oh well, I can't really just change the pads. I wanted to change both the rotors as well, and I went for the drilled and grooved in themselves because I think that for one they look lovely, and for two they were just as expensive as the normal ones.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think they really suit the car, and to be honest as well, being rear wheel drive, how many rear tyres have you been through since owning it?
Honestly, it's ridiculous. They eat through rear tyres sometimes.
There you go. So my car, being a front wheel drive, is completely different. So we're going to talk a little bit about my car now, and then we'll do a slight comparison after that as well between the power, and we'll talk more about the engine bays and everything like that. So the exciting bit about this video is the comparison. So the stats between the two cars. My car is running 235 brake horsepower. Mark's car is running...
It's 390 at the moment, but stock it's 320.
There you go. And the newton meters of torque for mine is 320 newton meters. However, Mark's is...
It's probably about 500 now, but standard they're 420.
So you can see the difference between the two. Basically, Mark's car is about 10 times quicker than mine, but it don't matter. And then another bit that we're going to talk about is the curb weight of the car. Now, my car weighs 1,300 kg. Mark's car weighs in at...
It's 1,590 or something similar.
There you go. So they're both heavy cars, but obviously mine's lighter, so I win that one. All right?
It's 1 point to you.
And then another point is the 0 to 60 times. Now, my car is obviously a lot slower than Mark's. However, it is a lot smaller. So my car is 2 litre and it is running 6.5 seconds to 60 mile an hour. Mark's car's running...
I mean, mine will probably do about 4.9 standard, but now it will probably do about 4.7.
There you go. Mark's car's quicker than mine, so Mark gets another point. So I'm now sitting in the driver's seat of Mark's M135i. What a difference this car is to mine. Now, seeing this car in the showroom, seeing it in courtyards and stuff, and standing on the outside of it, I've never really thought much in comparison of the interior to the JCW. And what a difference it makes. You've got the centre console going up in the middle, and you've got the speed dials right in front of you, which are analog, but I think that's pretty cool. But you picked an auto gearbox.
Yeah, I did, yeah. So I picked a ZF8 auto gearbox over the manual. Personally, for me, I just think they're so much better. I think they're probably one of, if not the best automatic gearbox for me, in my opinion. I didn't really want the manual. I mean, to be fair, with the auto, you can get probably another 0.2 seconds to 60 quicker, so yeah.
Yeah, because sitting in the car as well, you got the paddles straight off of there, and you know, when you're drifting or whatever you're doing, because obviously it's a rear-wheel drive, it must be a pretty cool experience. And also I've noticed he's got boost gauges up there, which go into the screen. Now, as you'll know on mine from people that are coming back on the channel regularly, I've got boost gauges, but Mark's got them on the screen, which is more up to date than mine. So tell us, what have you got up there?
So I mean, you've got the horsepower there, the Newton meters as well up there, so it sort of shows you as you're going along, or as you're planting your right foot, how much power and how much Newton meters you're actually using.
Yeah, so obviously with all that power comes economy. Now, Mark's economy is quite poor.
It is terrible.
Compared to mine. I mean, I'm looking at it right now and it's saying 28.6 mpg, and that's over a fairly long journey you've just done.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your economy, Mark.
I mean, so town driving, you expect no more than 28, if that. I mean, on the motorway, if you've got it in Eco Pro, you can probably expect high 30s, 40, perhaps at a stretch.
Yep.
But yeah, town driving is terrible. It's so bad.
And obviously, you mentioned there about modes. Now, my car's got sport, mid, and green.
Yeah.
Your car, you've got four modes.
4 modes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's Eco Pro, which never gets used.
No,
absolutely not. Comfort, Sport, and then Sport Plus. Sport to Sport Plus is it just changes the DSC, so it turns the DSC traction off in Sport Plus, whereas with Sport you've got it on. So if it's in the wet and you've got Sport Plus on, your back end's going to come out. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. Both being BMW made cars as well. Obviously, Mark's got 4 modes. I've only got 3, and clearly both in sport they're ASBO, but you've got the one up with your Sport Plus, which is pretty cool. So we're now going to hop into my car. Mark's going to sit in my driver's seat and he's going to tell me how he feels being in my cockpit rather than me being in his, because after all it is a comparison video. So we're now in the fastest car between the two, the John Cooper works. Mark, how do you feel sitting in the driver's seat?
I mean, in all honesty, it feels a lot more open than mine. Obviously, there's no flush center console, but it does feel still quite sporty. You've got the analog boost gauges, the carbon fibre everywhere. Obviously, the Pro exhaust. You've still got the actual mode selectors, which to me is sick. And this, I mean, the light around the actual center bit is just, I love that.
Yeah, because with the lighting that you're saying, you can change that to different modes as well. And obviously you touched on the boost gauges, they're analog. So in your car, you've got digital. It's a bit of a difference because obviously they're in your face and it's from factory. So yeah, it does help out. And you say with the space, you are right. We don't, coming from the 135i, which you just saw a clip in, the centre console not being here does feel more spacey. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the TARDIS. I mean, the outside they seem really small, but inside they actually seem quite spacious.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, I think I have to grab a point for the old MPG. I do drive fairly slow when I'm on my work commute, and I can get this up to 52 mpg.
Cool.
Yeah,
bit better than mine.
Yeah, but this is a 2 litre. Mark's is a 3. Whether that makes too much of a difference, it probably does. But obviously this is still quicker, so it's fine. And then obviously you've got the tank, so I can fill it up and I can get about 500 miles to a tank if I really go.
Not a chance for me.
Yeah, economically I can do that. But the sport, the mid and the green, I've got 3 modes, you've got 4. It's probably better having 4 modes because you've got the Sport Plus.
Yeah, easier.
There you go. So that's the JCW. Hopefully you enjoyed the JCW interior and the M135i. We're now going to hop to the outside and we're going to check out the exhaust and the engine bays, and we're going to talk about your modifications, what you've done to the car.
Yep.
So we're now looking at both the engine bays. Got Mark's to my right, mine to my left. We're going to talk about the mods that we've done. So Mark, start off with yours. What have you done?
Yeah, so I mean, I've done a MST intake, I've done an MTC charge pipe because they are notorious for cracking on these, and I've basically done NGK one-step colder spark plugs. So it's, yeah, essentially really good for running stage 1 at the moment.
Perfect. So you're stage 1, but you're actually stage 2 ready?
With an intercooler, yeah, so I need to get the intercooler to go stage 2, and then I'm all ready to go stage 2.
And intercooler, who are you thinking?
I think I'm going to go AirTech for that. AirTech or Wagner, one of the two.
There you go, and obviously you've got a splitter at the front there.
Yeah.
Obviously I haven't got one on mine, but you can see the difference that a splitter makes to the front of the car. And the engine mods as well, fantastic mods, and the intake on that is absolutely ginormous.
Yeah.
The pipe coming along the front, mine's at the back. So the mods on mine, I've got the Forge hard pipe, which you've seen on previous videos, alongside the Forge induction kit. Nowhere near as ready for a stage 1 or 2 as Mark's is, but nonetheless, great cars. Obviously, again, mine's much quicker. But yeah, we're going to hop round to the back now and we're going to talk a little bit about exhaust, because Mark and myself have both got quite interesting exhaust to talk about. Yours being a 3 litre, mine being a 2. They're both very, very loud, so let's get straight into that bit. So we're now around the back of the car, Mark's car. It looks a lot more aggressive than I'd say mine does, because he's changed a few bits. So Mark, tell us what you've changed.
Yeah, so I mean, I've done the exhaust. They've got different tips to standard. We've got the Zero Design diffuser, 3D gel plates with LED plate lights. You've got the black badge and the black badge surround as well, just to make it a bit more sporty.
Right, I like it. I think it looks really good, and it goes alongside your exhaust. So your exhaust is very, very loud.
Yeah,
like, extremely
it's not
loud.
quiet, yeah.
A straight 6.3 litre. So tell us what you've done.
So it's got a downpipe on it. I've taken the resonator out, and the actual back box itself is gutted. So it's had everything taken out of it, and it's essentially just a straight through, really.
That's crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to my car, and then we're going to be getting some exhaust clip and noises of the M135i and my JCW. Let us know in the comments what you think sounds better. It's probably going to be Mark's, but we'll see. See what you think.
So we're now around the back of Brad's JCW. Tell me a bit about what you've done.
So with mine, I've changed the rear diffuser, and they're easier to change on these than the older models. It just goes over the top, and then I've got black badge, and I've also added the Maxton spoiler extensions at the top, and I've got a previous video showing how to install those. Really, really easy. And I've also changed the Union Jack lights just to the LCI lights, mine being a pre-LCI, which obviously it come with the exhaust. Then I've changed the Union Jacks because I think they look more smart.
Yeah. So you touched on the exhaust. Tell us a bit about that.
So the exhaust, it's a Pro exhaust. I double tap, it's a Bluetooth, and on the right tip it's a valve. Open it up, and yeah, it just sounds much better than a 3 litre, really. And then if I shut it, it just sounds like an Nissan Micro. It doesn't sound too great, but nonetheless, it's still really nice, sporty exhaust that comes factory with the car.
Awesome. Yeah.
Mark's happy with that.
Awesome.
So that's it for today's video. Compared my car with Mark's 135i. It's been a good video, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, I think so.
So,
absolutely.
Do you like the John Cooper works?
I absolutely love it, to be fair. I mean, it was one of the options for me before I actually got that, but... Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, John Cooper works still better. Remember that. So hopefully you enjoyed the exhaust clips as well, because Mark's car, I'll give it to you, mate, that definitely sounds better on the roads, 100%. And we've done the interior. Personally, for me, I'd vote and say your interior is nicer.
Yeah. I mean,
it feels more modern.
I love the openness of that interior. Yeah.
There you go. So, see you in the next video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and comment below what you think's best. Obviously, it's going to be mine, but Mark's still going to want a little bit of love in there. Cheers, guys.